Good morning, good day. This is African Crypto Warlord. Hope you guys are doing well. I hope you've been observing some levels, and I hope you're not panicking out of XR panic. Alright, because it may poop, but it might pump. Let's get into it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at how our price action is playing within our current distribution cone that we're viewing here. And we can see that we've hit some certain levels. Let me turn on some pink lines so that you can see what happens when we're playing into these pink lines. Alright. So general idea is that's our mean of this distribution cone to the upside and the downside. You start closing higher term time frames at least two levels below this mean. You'll definitely start to look for continuation. As you can see here, this is 2 levels above the mean, trying to look for continuation, right? Again, trying to snipe out, do some continuation here. So the general theory is let's see if there's some positive drift in the book that is currently putting in all these wicks that we can observe here, especially this big one, this one would be negative drift, this one would be negative drift. So we're looking for resolution on a time frame. We're going to have to be highly specific on which time frame, but just for thumb sucks, I'm going to still stick with my 6 hour trend machine. And yeah, from there we're going to break down these charts. So what we can see on the 15-minute right now is that we have some mean reversion to the upside. So this is mean reversion up here, mean reversion to the upside. Shannon Entropy is a bit confused. Returns are going big, and there's mean reversion on the AME. And our AME is gonna be like for a longer term trend. So it helps pick it up. Even though this is all signal processing here, the AME is like general trend. It's like, okay, cool, we're looking for the general trend now to start going up, or vice versa. When we're here, we're looking for the general trend to now start going down. Okay, these indicators, as you can see, you'll see that there's crosses up here, and look at that one goes red even though it hasn't mean reverted yet, and then you'll have your mean reversion plate to the downside. So this is the same thing that's happening here. This one's going green, this one's mean reverting to the upside. Our super scalpers come through. We have some positive drift in the book, which is why this has been saved. Alright, let me put the UMP off. PB cones are still on, and we're not touching any PB cones. So our next PB cones to be in play are either to the upside here, 3349, or either here, 3258, 3246. Alright, you can see that a bullish div can be formed at 3246. Okay, and then the same way it will be failed as a bearish drive of continuation is currently here. So we're sort of in the middle of our data set. So we're going to go through on reverse wave trend. Alright, what's capping our current lower time frame or intraday trading range is this. Alright, this is the channel that it sort of likes to be stuck in, and as you can see, every time we get out of our channel, pretty much outside both sides of orange lines, you can see that's an outlier event. So you must get ready to take the trade. Alright, so it breaks through. A lot of signal processing here. Boom, you'll get your trade. Down here, it's hitting your 15-minute means. Those like to line up with VRE levels, probability cones, and all sorts of jazz. Talking about probability levels, talking about VRE levels in our channel. Here we go. This is our channel. So our daily printed, as you can see, this was our previous daily range, and we had demarcated this for continuation strive to the upside. Not much out of it, considering that this was already where the 15-minute was starting to get front run on yesterday's stream when I messed up. Okay, so I knew that was going to be scalped through. I was surprised that it actually did push down far, but I was expecting it to be held within the daily range, and this is our daily range. Our red one here, yellow, and then we have a red one that's also matched up with our pink box that we're currently bouncing off of over here. Okay, now let me just put it back on reverse wave trend. So reverse wave trend is saying if we close this 15-minute candle above here in 24 seconds, we close it above this orange line, it's going to be a little bit easier to pump to the upside. Where's the upside? We're looking at daily mean. Alright, so from here to daily mean, if this fails, you'll come touch this one, and it'll come fail the orange one to come touch in this pink box. Alright, get the crystal balls, guys, record this. Alright, so I just want to be awake for this. That's fine. How's our new indicator printing? So we printed above the orange line. We have our mean reversion play. That's sort of set in. So now we're going to look for anything that's going to stop that. Sort of the only thing that's telling us that this is not looking for continuation is because this one is green. Right? So as soon as there's enough volatility in the book, it might dump itself into a pump. We'll see what has to observe here. Random point in distribution, while significantly positively correlated to the downside, is what our super scalper is saying, but our long term, or our longer term SCP is telling us we're going up. So this tells me that we're going sideways. And as you can see, where's a good place to base the sideways off of? Where are we? We had a previous print on that orange line. Okay? So now they're going to want to pick it up above the orange line to see what the situation is. If they can't pick it up above the orange line, there's your 15-minute mark. So you close down here, the next print will naturally mean revert, and that confirms that denied mean reversion has happened. As you can see, now it can confirm. When it pumped up, it couldn't. Data is very sensitive to certain levels, alright? And that's what we have to observe. So we have our VRE on. Let's go, have a play. Let's go switch off all these other lines. Let's go see what's happening in the book. So we said in the beginning we're going to monitor for positive and negative drift. So I'm going to go up in time frames. I see that sort of works, keeps the guys viewing, right, for more than 1.5 minutes, which is pretty cool. Thank you so much if you do. So we have 30-minute contraction. That's also confused in this region. 45 minute is looking for a mean reversion play. We have nothing here yet. Let's put on our reverse wave trend. So our reverse wave trend sort of didn't even hit an outlier here, so this might actually be scalped out when it gets to its mean or something like that, right? I like my data points to be significant. If it makes touchy, it's safe. If it doesn't make touchy, it's not safe. That's how I look at it. Okay, so 90-minute. Let's see if there's some negative drift on the 90-minute. I should just go back. Okay, that's confused. 45-minute was confused. 3-hour. So this is a candle of confusion. So I think we might have to even set up a new distribution cone on one of these new time frames. We'll find out. Contraction positively correlated whilst trend is decaying. So the downward candles aren't going to be as big as the previous one. That's what we can observe there. 6-hour. What have we got? 6-hour close in 2 hours and 42 minutes, which mean reverting to the downside. Obviously, you can see that it failed the daily mean. That's your confirmation to mean revert to the downside because it couldn't hold the bullish dip. But considering that this is crypto, let's go look at a higher term time frame just to see, out of luck, if you're going to have some positive drift, which could wreck a whole bunch of people that are currently trading the 6-hour time frame thinking this is a mean reversion play to the downside. All right. Contraction, negatively correlated, that's positive slope, so positive float. So positive float on the 6-hour, yes, our return oscillator did dump us down, but right now we've moved into positive drift, alright? And we're actually starting to pick up on a trend with regards to positive drift. Positive drift is what's pretty much brought this up from 3266 to 3285. Doesn't sound like much, but obviously when you put it on the 12-hour time frame, well, then things are going to get different. Okay, contraction. Okay, so 12 hours a little bit confused. Understandable. We are having a reduction in positive returns. We've got some big orders coming through the book right now. So we're having a reduction in positive returns. We've slapped to the downside. This is going to hit our first standard deviation. This is looking to mean revert. So we need to pretty much say if this candle closes below this reverse wave trend, we can look for continuation to the downside. Just with this and this and this and this will confirm because we are closing below this orange line at my reverse wave trend. Alright. From there, you're going to pretty much look for any one of these levels down here and we'll match them up with the probability cone on the 15-minute. Okay. 24-hour. What's the 24-hour have to say? So currently, pretty much everything from the 15-minute up is confused. Alright. 6 hours telling us if we close below the daily, we're going to continue to the downside. Okay, so 24-hour also looking like it's capped its returns to the upside. Contraction positively correlated. This still says sideways. So we're looking for a huge move to pull out of this, right? Just getting wedged. Okay, a lot of the high term time frame indicators will start to reset themselves. We're going to definitely go observe the 5-day, 3-day. We've got 14 hours and 40 minutes to close. We're pretty much where we were yesterday. Not much has changed here. Contraction positively correlated. That's what's put in the negative drift. We still have a mean reversion to the upside. We still have an outlier point that's been hit. So it's going to say at least for 3, 6, 9, 12. 12 days, these candles to the downside should be smaller than this one. Alright, that's a general observation right here. If it does continue to the downside. We've had our blue flashes off. We're waiting for volatility to turn around. We can see that this returns candle hasn't been able to pick up into its standard deviation move. So this trend hasn't kicked off as of yet, or at least on the 3-day. 5-day is looking to mean revert. We printed it last night. Contraction significantly negatively correlated. This is what I've been preaching for so long. I've been waiting 3 fucking days for this to happen. Contraction significantly negatively correlated. Bears, let's play games, buddy. Bring your biggest fucking bag. Let's go. Alright. Dump it, brother. Dump it. Let's go. Dump it. I want some cheap coins. Let's go. Alright, so the bears are going to be not destroyed, but they're going to have a very, very, very hard time trying to break this 5-day positive drift. What did our 5-day do to us last time? As you can see, we were up here, and when it expands, well, significantly negatively correlated. What happened? It went down quite a lot. So this is the inverse move. This is the ebb and flow of volatility. So this is the ebb and flow of volatility trying to push us up back to at least, if I was to put up some AVR flash levels, we'll be there. But that's your random point. So your random point will be this candle. So I'm going to push for 0.3700. Cap it off there. You can set in a bear div. Alright, for longer term time frame. So general idea is we're waiting for, now it's going to be like 10 days, but if this does stay here or open higher, what you will see is the next print's naturally going to mean revert, which will be at our weekly, which is perfectly fine. Our weekly is at 3385, okay, and that sort of matches up with, in my observations, 3385. We hold and close above 3385. Our 5-day mean reversion carries on through to the upside, and then we get as we're watching in the lower term time frames, what we could see is that structure forming like the triangle, right? A lot of pressure building up over here, waiting for volatility to push through and find itself a direction. 5-day, I ain't gonna cheat that 5-day. That 5-day looks good. Highly confident in that 5-day. At least with the buyback pressure that can come off of the sells. So we're gonna make wicks. We're not gonna close candle bodies down there. So if you can catch those knife drops, then you know that you're going to have your returns to the upside, and then you're going to obviously want to try touch the bottom of that knife drop again. But 5-day drift is going to stop that second run. So first run might get through, second run is going to get bought up. That's going to put in a bullish div. You see how that works, at least on any time frame from the 1 minute to the 5-day. Okay, just because the 5-day is that strong. Cool. Expansion 7-day. 7-day is starting to curl over a bit here. 5-day can help that happen, alright? 7-day still does say it wants to go to the downside, but we're waiting for these blue flashes on the right here to stop flashing. Those blue flashes are these blue flashes. So when this blue flash ends off down here at the bottom, we'll be able to see a little bit more mean reversion to the upside. Obviously, the blue flash will more than likely end once we've touched this mean reversion mean. How long until we close? 1 day, 15 hours. So this is going to open on Monday. This is not a Sunday print. This is a Monday morning print, which is the long weekend. Okay? Which is still fine. Perfectly chilled. So now I'm going to go through out some probability levels on the probability. Let me say this right. I'm going to call it the dizzy cap, or the dizzy cone. Alright, the distribution cone. But it's actually called the projection boss. I have bad habits. Okay, so projection boss. Let's throw a projection boss up on the 15-minute and let's see what's happening. As we can see, our usual mean reversion trend, our mean reversion trend for the daily is 3307. And then from there, you can see volatility wanting to expand. This one's still green. Okay, as soon as this one goes red, you'll see this thing just rip. As soon as this one goes red, expands, you'll see this one follow through at least to the mean. Alright, so there's our mean reversion play. Let me put up some distribution cones. We're in the wiry, we based. That's your first touch at least. That's where it's going to get held up. And then if it doesn't fail here, you look for continuation into your daily mean. Alright, reverse wave trend off, PB cone on, PB cone on. Let's make sure we have big data. Is these lined up? Those have changed. Okay. So you can just see how I sort of set this data up. I don't know why those changed. But anyway, the first initial video that you watch on the intros, that one's always correct. Just as I start playing around in time frames and I leave it on and I shuffle time frames, it can mess up. I mess it up. It's perfectly fine. Okay. I just forget to switch it off. Cool. So you can see how we pull those levels out. This is going to drop off. Come on, there we go. Cool. No more, no flashes. No flashes. Alright. So that is our distribution mean. Obviously, we've pulled a bit of a bullish div off of this one. We've set in a bearish div off of this, in this cone over here. Bear divs, bull div, bear divs, bull div. Right? So we're going to watch this rush, but I'd say for the weekend, your general range is going to be anywhere between here, 3347. This will be failure, right, until the new one prints. If you start closing candles below here, expect maybe 2 down. Considering we've hit 2 here, I'm going to expect 1 down. If we've hit level 2 here, I'm going to definitely expect 1 down if this fails. Alright, and that's going to put in a hidden bullish div. So you can see that this range is getting absolutely targeted. We are on the upside of the distribution candle, where previously we've been on quite the lower side, coming in and only scalping this side when we've been down at 6 levels at the bottom here. We're only coming up and we're reaching 2. So currently I'm going to expect that this bell curve that we can see here is more than likely wanting to expand to the upside just right now in this minute that I'm looking at it. Obviously we have the data to tell me when that moment comes, to let me know when I'm wrong. Okay, so there's your daily mean, there's your PB cone, and what have we got? Any previous data in PB cone? No. So this data over here is telling me there's magnets. We have a PB cone mean, and we have a VRE level pretty much printed right on it. In today's price action, is it sometime today? It's not sometime today. It's not sometime today. So there's your daily mean. Here's your weekly mean that you can see that this thing wanted to rush through and try and touch. So as they stated yesterday, I truly do feel that there is a opportunity to hit 3382 within the weekend, and then you can either have the continuation up for Monday, Tuesday when everyone wakes up again, or you can have a continuation down. The weekly mean coming into a close, we haven't touched it. Whilst we've been putting in a whole bunch of bottom work over here, we haven't touched the weekly mean. Man, it's been 7 days now, nearly, so I'm sure that it's in order for a touch, at least to confirm a failure point to the downside for longer term trends, at least. Alright, if it was to fail from here, then I know next week's just going to be as rangy as this, and we're going to come back into this range because we haven't had a significant mark on this. Furthermore, our monthly mean is at 3469, alright, or 3470. So in this month, during some time in this month, I expect us to hit 3470 and fail from there if we're going to be bearish, or continue from there if we're going to be bullish for maybe the next 2 months, 3 months, who knows. Alright, but for now, that's your general play of games. I'm just going to make this one a tight range because I actually want to be trading this today. Let's see. Reverse wave trend on, put these on, put those on, VRE off, on, cool. This is a general idea, so I'm going to be looking for daily VRE mean. Obviously, if we don't close above pink line, we're going to go back down, try to touch a green line, or fall through this reverse wave trend. Let me take that off, let me put that on. So currently, you can see our UMP is capped us over here. Let me go check where my 90-minute UMP is. Cones are off, that's perfectly fine. I messed up the data. Cool, no flashes. Cool, off on 90-minute mean reversion play. Let me switch these off so you guys can see the data. Alright, so as you can see is in 1 hour's time, if we pretty much close here, just there, well, you're gonna now have to close above the JMA over here, right? If you close above the JMA over there, you've defended your bull div over here. Contraction, these two are still confused, so the next print will definitely help add some structure to the market from here. And then you will look for continuation. But the general idea being is we close above this JMA, we're going to continue to daily mean. We close below this JMA, we're going to continue to VRE level 3260. I hope this was helpful. Let's keep wide eyes. And yeah, see what it has to say on our volatility indicators. As you can see, contraction and confused on the 6 hour. So maybe wait for some more resolution for the weekend, at least in 2 hours and 30 minutes. But until now, I believe we'll be playing around in here, and if enough positive drift picks us up, we close above here in the same candle, and then you'll look for continuation to the upside. But if there's not enough positive drift, we're just going to be hanging around here, and it's going to make it harder fight to get to the daily mean. Daily mean short, boom, down. Daily mean, you more than likely find price action wants to come back here once this UMP has hit the daily mean. Alright, at that time we can make some further great decisions. This was a long one. I hope it was helpful, and I'm just going to put these here considering homies have gotten this far. Alright, so we have 2 there. We can get rid of that one. Alright, so that's the daily range. I hope you guys have a good day further. 6 hour closes above this. 6 hour closes above this. VRE's off. UMP's off. And 6 hour closes above this guy. Over here, you'll look for continuation to the upside for months. Have a good day further.